What is up, guys, and welcome back to another brand new video. Today's video is going to be about integrity. And you, motherfucker, I know you're watching this video, you don't have any fucking integrity. Not all you, just the one person I'm talking to. Just a solid piece of shit. Anyways, what I mean by integrity is today, I fucked up a vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, I did. And like, this isn't a joke, this isn't being funny. I fucked up a vehicle. I was working on a Toyota Tacoma or Tundra, Tacoma. And it was maybe fairly newer, not too new, maybe 2006, 2007. So, I mean, it seems new, but it's 10, 11 years old. And I go and I have to replace the fuel door. And I open the fuel door. It's not nut and bolted, or it's not a bolt through a welded nut or anything like that. It's two rivets. So I grab my drill, go to drill out the rivets. I can't get in there because normally I like to use a cutoff wheel and skim them down. It works perfect for me. That's how I like to do it. Especially, it didn't matter if I marred up the old piece because it was coming off. And you can't get in there to do that. And so I went to drill out the rivets. And as I was drilling, I was pushing. And this is one main reason why you need to have good cutting drill bits. It wasn't really cutting, and so I was pushing harder and harder. And it was a thicker drill bit. And still, all of a sudden, bam, it let loose, and then the drill went up, and the broken part, as a matter of fact, this right here, went up and walked up the side of the truck and left 3 little marks, and then nicked the pinstriping. And I fucked it up. I did. No two ways about it. You know, it sucked. It was a hard pill to swallow. You know, you always get nervous when you have to go and tell your boss you messed up, but it's the right thing to do. So I walked over to my boss. I said, look, dude, I said, I fucked up. And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, I was drilling, my bit broke, and I leaned into it too hard, and it went and walked up the side of the truck. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, are you gonna hand me a bill or something? You know, and like, no, nothing. He comes over, looks at it, and goes, well, we'll see if we can get this touched up or something. And I'm like, I'm like flabbergasted here. I'm like, what the fuck? And so the other boss comes out and is like, is this one ready to go? I said, kinda, but I said I messed up. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I scratched the side of the vehicle. And she was like, oh. And I was like, oh, like, I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. And so I showed her, and she was like, okay. She was like, you know, did you let such and such know and see what you can figure out? And I was like, yeah, we're working on it now. And so she turned, she called the customer in to show him. Customer came in. And I'm like, dude, I said, I really apologize. I was drilling this out, and my bit broke, and I leaned into it too hard, pushed into it too hard, and when it broke, my bit went up, and I ran it up the truck. And he was like, dude, don't worry about it. And I'm like, what? He was like, don't worry. And I was like, no. You know, because I was fully prepared to pay for all damages, whatever needed to be done, because it's your responsibility. You know, it was my responsibility to have better equipment. This is why some things you cannot go cheap on. And these were just a package of Royal B bits, all right? Like, I shouldn't have had them. And I grabbed them and I used them, and I just shouldn't have. Not for this application anyways. And so he was not upset at all. So my employer actually gave him the labor of the job for free, and I forget what else, but you know, I thought that was very nice of them. And you know, and I don't even care if that were, I don't know if it's going to, we didn't discuss it, but if that comes out of my check, that's fine. It's my responsibility. It's having integrity for your actions. There's been a couple of times where other people, you know, I've worked with, you know, and you know, they've gone and said the same thing, you know, like, I messed this up. You know, and I love working with people like that. I absolutely love it, because then they're trustworthy. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. I can leave all my shit out. In fact, I do. A bunch of my tools are on my cart right now, and I don't have to worry about Bill or anybody else taking them. You know, Bill loses tools when because I leave my shit out in my cart. He can easily grab a tool, and then I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't know he'd take it. I thought I lost it, and he could easily do that. But when he loses a tool, he does it. You know, I'll come in the next morning, it's like, Bruce, if you see an 8mm, let me know I lost it while you were gone last night. And I don't lock my box, but, you know, I should, and I should start to, but just in case I'm gone and one of the guys needs something, because we all have something that the other person doesn't have. And so we're all very generous. You know, we usually try to stay with the rule of thumb that you use something 3 times, you go ahead and buy it. But anyways, getting down to it is I work with a bunch of trustworthy people. I do not want to break that trust. I like the I love the people I work with. I would do anything for any last one of them. Anything. Because I know if I needed something, and I have needed things, they've always been there for me through thick or thin, and I can never complain or take that away from them. Any job I get there, I do not complain, I do it. They say move, I execute. That's it, simple as that. Sometimes do I like doing certain things? Absolutely not, but I will never ever say no. And I will never say I don't want to do this. Unless it's a job on some $100,000 car or $200,000 car that I just don't feel comfortable doing, that I will never say no. I will always do it to the best of my ability. And the best of my ability isn't always the best, but I'll always try and I'll always give it my all. And integrity, it's a very important thing to have. If you do something wrong, you need to own up to it. And I'll tell you what, your boss will gain that much more respect for you. Everybody in your shop should gain that much more respect for you. If they don't, then they're not worth having as friends or even as employees. I'd find somewhere else to work. This is by far the best job I've ever had. And I don't mean pay-wise or work-wise. I mean co-worker-wise. You don't find it like this. You don't. And it really means a lot to me. I don't know, like, you know, I know a few people, a certain content creator on this motherfucker too, that has zero integrity. Little fat piece of shit. Yeah, fuck you. Sorry, I had to get that out. Something's going on and something big's about to go down, so make sure you stay tuned. Because this is about to be a 4-way orgy in this motherfucker, trust me. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. If you guys have the opportunity or something happens, always fess up to it. If you get fired, you get fired. But guess what? You get to go home at night, rest your head down, knowing that you told the truth and you did not lie and you owned up to it. Imagine if that was your vehicle and then you get home and then you walk around the car and you see it and you're like, shit, I don't know if that happened at the shop or if I don't know. You'd be pissed off because you wouldn't know what to do or how to fix it. You know what I mean? Why should you pay for someone else's mistake? I don't want anyone else paying for my mistakes. Anytime I've messed something up at my job that was of any significance, I've always offered to pay for it out of my pocket. Always. I will, if I ever mess up, because it's my fault. I don't believe, as nice as my employer is, I don't believe they should pay for all my mistakes. Little ones here and there, okay. But you know what? Those mistakes teach me. You know what? I will never do what I did today again, ever. And you need to learn from your mistakes. I always try to. I don't always, but I do my damnedest to do so. So if you get anything out of this video, it's just to be honest. Be honest and fess up to anything you do wrong in your place of business. Or just anywhere in general. Be a good person. Don't be a shitbag. Don't be a liar. Yeah, you know who you are. You know, just be honest. Keep it 100. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video.